going at 131 miles per hour. This legendary Formula One driver met a tragic end during the San Marino Grand Prix in 1994. His fatal accident sent shockwaves through the motorsport world and led to major changes in F1 safety standards. Ayrton Senna's journey from a young karting prodigy in Brazil to becoming one of the most iconic figures in F1 history is nothing short of extraordinary. But who was Senna behind the racetrack? What drove his insatiable desire for excellence? This is the entire life story of Ayrton Senna. Senna's career and life were cut short during the San Marino Grand Prix at Imola. On May 1st, 1994, he suffered a fatal crash, sending shockwaves through the motorsport community and the world. It was a day that left everyone in disbelief and mourning. In the weeks leading up to the race, the Williams team struggled with the car's performance. The FW16, designed to comply with new regulations that banned electronic aids, like active suspension, was difficult to handle. Senna was deeply concerned about the car's safety and had expressed his worries to the team. He even suggested modifications to improve stability and handling, but the car remained unpredictable. The tragic weekend at Imola started with a series of unfortunate events. During Friday's practice session, Senna's protege, Rubens Barrichello, suffered a severe crash but survived with minor injuries. The following day, Austrian driver Roland Ratzenberger died during qualifying after his car hit a concrete wall at high speed. Senna was profoundly affected by Ratzenberger's death, and it intensified his concerns about driver safety in Formula One. He spent a long time in his motorhome that evening, visibly shaken and contemplating the risks of the sport he loved.
The camera mounted
on race day.
Wing. So stand by for blast off and for action from Imola. 61 laps of it. The green.
Senna started from pole position, determined to bring victory to his struggling team. But on the 7th lap, his car left the track at high speed, around 211 kilometers per hour or 131 miles per hour, and crashed into a concrete wall at the Tamburello corner. The impact was devastating. The right front wheel and nose cone struck Senna on the head, causing fatal injuries. Despite the best efforts of medical personnel, Senna succumbed to his injuries. The aftermath of the crash was chaotic. Medical teams rushed to the scene and the race was temporarily halted. Senna was airlifted to a nearby hospital, but it was too late. Fans, fellow drivers, and team members were left in shock and grief. Brazil, in particular, mourned the loss of its national hero, with millions of people deeply affected by his passing. Senna's death showed the urgent need for improved safety measures in Formula One. The sport had become complacent after several years without fatal accidents, and Senna's passing was a harsh reminder on the inherent dangers of racing. His passing led to significant changes in the sport, including the introduction of new safety regulations and the development of better crash protection for drivers. The FIA, Formula One's governing body, established the Advisory Expert Group to investigate the accident and recommend safety improvements. Among the changes implemented were the redesign of circuits to remove or mitigate dangerous sections, the introduction of the hands, head and neck support device to prevent fatal head and neck injuries, and stricter crash testing for cars. The Tamburello corner at Imola, where Senna's crash occurred, was reconfigured to include a chicane to slow cars down. But even after his tragic death, no one can ever forget his life and legacy. Ayrton Senna, born on March 21st, 1960, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, showed an early knack for driving. By the age of 4, he was already zipping around in a go-kart built by his dad, Milton da Silva. While other kids were just learning to ride bikes, Senna was already speeding around like a pro. This early start hinted at the amazing career ahead of him in motorsport. Senna started his karting career at 13. He competed in championships across Brazil and South America, quickly becoming known for his driving skills. But even the best have challenges. When Senna moved to Europe for the World Karting Championship, he finished second in 1979 and 1980. His rivalry with British karting legend Terry Fullerton was intense. Senna later called Fullerton his greatest competitor. Quite a compliment, even if it had a hint of, "I'm still better than you." Senna's dedication to karting was intense. He saw it as as the purest form of racing, where only talent and skill mattered. This time was crucial for developing the precision and control that would define his driving style. The tough competition in European karting helped him get ready for bigger challenges. So, while other teenagers were dealing with school and awkward crushes, Senna was busy becoming a racing legend. The rest of us were just trying to get through gym class without tripping over our own feet. In 1981, Senna took the plunge into car racing. He moved to the UK, dealing with the fun of the new country and culture. He settled in Eton near Norwich and joined the Van Diemen team to compete in the British Formula 4 Championship. Senna's debut in car racing was nothing short of amazing. Even though he was new to the sport, he quickly adapted and showed his skill. His first race in Formula 4 saw him finish 5th, which turned out to be his worst result of the season. At Thruxton, he got his first podium and then won his first race at Brands Hatch. By mid-season, Senna had won 12 out of 14 races, making it clear he was here to dominate. Senna's competitive nature was obvious right away. He didn't just want to compete, he wanted to win and be the best. His intense training, even during the off-season, showed his dedication. Whether running on Brazilian beaches or training on an oil jetty, yes, really, Senna was always focused on getting fitter and stronger. He was meticulous, using consistent surfaces to compare different sessions in his constant quest for improvement. But even with his success, money was a big issue. Senna's family, though wealthy, didn't exactly shower him with cash for his racing career. The recession in Brazil made it tough to get sponsorship, leading to a brief retirement in 1982. But let's be honest, the thought of a regular job was probably as thrilling as watching paint dry. Senna's love for racing couldn't keep him away for long. He returned to the UK, determined to keep racing. When Senna came back to racing, he dominated the British and European Formula 4 2000 championships, with the Russian Green Racing Team winning 22 out of 28 races in 1982. In 1983, Senna moved to the British Formula 3 Championship with the West Surrey Racing Team. He started the season with a bang, winning the first 9 races in a row. His rival, Martin Brundle, soon became a serious challenger, leading to some epic battles. One of the standout moments that year was at Cadwell Park. Senna crashed into a marshal's post, writing off his car, but he bounced back, showing his skill and determination, and went on to win the championship. His success in Formula 3 cemented his status as a rising star in motorsport. Senna's time in Formula 3 wasn't short on drama. At Silverstone, he was livid when David Leslie took pole position, suspecting some foul play. But despite these accusations, Senna's talents shone through. He dominated the season, winning multiple races and clinching the championship. The rivalry with Brundle was especially fierce. At Oulton Park, Senna made an aggressive move that led to a collision, showing his uncompromising nature on the track. This fierce competitiveness became a key part of Senna's career. Brundle must have been thrilled, nothing like a good crash to spice things up, right? Senna's success in the lower formulas naturally led him to opportunities in Formula 1. He tested for top teams like Williams, McLaren, and Brabham, impressing everyone with his speed and technical feedback. But, as usual, politics and contracts got in the way. Just when you think it's all sorted, bureaucracy steps in to spoil the party. In 1984, Senna signed with the relatively uncompetitive Toleman team. Despite the car's limitations, Senna's talent shone through. His performance at the Monaco Grand Prix, where he almost won in torrential rain, remains one of the most iconic drives in Formula 1 history. Senna finished second, marking his arrival on the world stage. Senna's drive at Monaco was a masterclass in wet weather racing. Starting 13th on the grid, he quickly moved up the field, overtaking several drivers, including reigning world champion Alain Prost. As the rain intensified, Senna's superior car control became evident, and he was catching Prost at an incredible rate. The race was eventually stopped due to dangerous conditions, but Senna had made his mark. Beyond Monaco, Senna's season with Toleman had more highlights. He achieved 3 podium finishes and consistently outperformed the car's potential. His relentless pursuit of perfection and ability to extract every ounce of performance from the Toleman cemented his reputation as a future star in Formula 1. Senna's impressive rookie season with Toleman earned him a move to Lotus in 1985. Driving for Lotus, Senna secured his first Formula 1 victory at the Portuguese Grand Prix in Estoril under challenging wet conditions. His mastery in the rain became a hallmark of his driving style. Over the next 3 seasons with Lotus, Senna won several races and consistently showed his exceptional talent. He became known for his incredible qualifying speed, securing numerous pole positions. Despite the car's limitations, Senna's driving skill made him a formidable competitor. Senna's time at Lotus was also marked by his intense dedication to improving the car. He would spend hours with the engineers, understanding every little detail of the car's performance. His technical feedback was invaluable, and his relentless pursuit of perfection pushed the team to new heights. Senna's relationship with Lotus was a turning point in his career, establishing him as one of the top drivers in Formula One. His victories with Lotus included memorable wins at circuits like Spa, Detroit, and Jerez. Each win was a testament to his extraordinary talent and determination. Senna's ability to deliver stunning performances, even when the car was not the best on the grid, made him a fan favorite and a respected figure within the sport. In 1988, Senna joined McLaren, partnering with Alain Prost. His partnership marked one of the most intense rivalries in F1 history. The 1988 season was dominated by McLaren, with Senna and Prost winning 15 out of 16 races. Senna won his first world championship that year, narrowly beating Prost. The rivalry between Senna and Prost reached its peak in 1989. The controversial collision at the Japanese Grand Prix, which handed the championship to Prost, was a defining moment in their rivalry. Despite the setbacks, Senna remained focused and determined. In 1990, Senna claimed his second world championship, again with a controversial collision with Prost at Suzuka. This time, the collision occurred at the start of the race, securing the title for Senna. In 1991, Senna won his third and final world championship, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest drivers in the sport. Senna's rivalry with Prost was not just about on-track battles, it extended to psychological warfare, with both drivers trying to outmaneuver each other mentally. Senna's intense focus and determination often gave him the edge, but Prost's experience and cunning made the rivalry one of the most compelling in the history of the sport. During his time at McLaren, Senna's dominance wasn't limited to race wins. He also secured numerous pole positions, demonstrating his exceptional one-lap speed. His ability to extract the maximum from the car during qualifying sessions often put him in the best position to control races from the front. The 1990 and 1991 seasons saw some of Senna's most memorable drives. His victories in the wet at Suzuka and Interlagos showcased his unparalleled skill in challenging conditions. Senna's final years in Formula One saw him move to Williams in 1994. Sadly, his career and life were tragically cut short that same year, but these performances further solidified his reputation as the best driver of his generation. Away from the track, Senna was a private individual who cherished his time in Brazil. He often retreated to his beach house in Angra dos Reis, where he could unwind and recharge. Even with the pressures of his career, Senna always found time to relax and enjoy the natural beauty of his homeland. Senna's love for nature was evident in his approach to farming on his family estate. He practiced organic farming, growing various fruits and vegetables without chemicals. This commitment to natural and sustainable practices showed his deep respect for the environment. Who knew the man who raced cars at breakneck speeds was also a bit of a green thumb? It's like discovering your favorite rock star knits in their spare time. Senna was also an avid fan of model airplanes. Building and flying these models was a favorite hobby, allowing him to relax and focus away from racing pressures. His precision and attention to detail in the hobby mirrored his approach to driving, where even small adjustments could make a big difference. It's a bit like being a kid with toy planes, except his toys were a bit more sophisticated and expensive. Senna's personal life was marked by close relationships with his family and friends. Despite his fame and success, he remained humble and grounded. His interactions with his mechanics, team members, and fellow drivers were always marked by respect and camaraderie. He wasn't just a legend on the track, he was a genuinely nice bloke too. Senna's dedication to fitness was not just about physical preparation, but also mental toughness. He believed that being in peak physical condition allowed him to maintain focus and perform at his best during races. His training routines were intense and varied, including running, swimming, and even jet skiing. He was like a fitness machine, while most of us struggle with just getting out of bed. Senna's commitment to self-improvement extended beyond physical fitness. He was deeply spiritual and often spoke about his faith and how it guided his actions both on and off the track. This spiritual aspect of his life gave him a sense of purpose and inner peace, which he carried with him throughout his career. It's not often you find a racing legend who's also in touch with his spiritual side. He was a bit of a saint on and off the track. Senna's legacy goes way beyond his 3 World Championships and 41 Grand Prix wins. He's still an icon of excellence, determination, and passion. His impact on Formula One is huge, and his story continues to inspire new drivers and fans around the world. Senna was more than just a racing driver, he was a symbol of greatness and an enduring legend in the sport. Senna's influence is still felt in the sport today. Many current drivers look up to him. His approach to racing, commitment to fitness, and technical feedback set new standards. The safety improvements in the sport, many accelerated by the tragic events of Imola in 1994, are part of his lasting legacy. Sometimes it takes a tragedy to make things better, and sadly, Senna's death was one such moment. Senna's impact wasn't just about his on-track performances. He was known for his sportsmanship and his willingness to help and mentor young drivers. His dedication to improving the safety and competitiveness of the sport has left a lasting mark. In a world where it's every driver for themselves, Senna was a team player. The Ayrton Senna Foundation continues to honor his legacy by supporting educational and social programs in Brazil. The foundation's work has helped countless children gain access to education and opportunities they might not have had otherwise. Senna's commitment to giving back to his community remains one of the most enduring aspects of his legacy. It's nice to know that not all superheroes wear capes, some drive incredibly fast cars. Senna's influence on Formula One extends to the broader culture of the sport. His passion for racing and his uncompromising pursuit of excellence set a standard that many drivers aspire to. The stories of his legendary drives, intense rivalries, and moments of brilliance continue to captivate fans and inspire new generations. As tragic as his death might have been, Ayrton Senna's story is one of triumph, dedication, and unwavering passion. His legacy continues to inspire and motivate, reminding us all of the heights that can be reached through determination and hard work. Senna was more than just a racing driver. He was a symbol of greatness and an enduring legend in motorsport. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on the next one for more stories from the world.